Pledge of Allegiance, National Anthem, and the Alma Mater. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Voices sing as one in friendship unified, with loyalty that forms a bond made strong by Chatham pride. May your torch of learning light our ways, may we never forget our cougar days, and evermore we'll loudly praise our noble Chatham High.
Please be seated.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to begin by thanking everyone for coming here to celebrate the graduation of the class of 2017. I would like to thank Dr. LaSousa and the Chatham High School administration, staff, and faculty for their hard work in providing a comfortable, enriching learning environment. I would like to thank my fellow graduates, without whom this high school experience would not have been the same. On a more personal note, I would also like to thank my family for their constant support and guidance. It seems a bit surreal, but high school's over. In the next few months, many of the habits and routines that we have developed over the past 4 years will be broken down and replaced with something new. Chatham High School will eventually disappear completely from our everyday lives, except in our memories and our learned experience. And we certainly have a lot of those. Just this year, for instance, the girls' swim team won back their title as state champions. Our select choir performed at a sold-out concert in Carnegie Hall. Our academic team placed second in a national tournament. Our school play is still one of the best in the region. Our salutatorian, Nishita Sinha, has been nationally and internationally recognized for her research on improving sanitation in third world countries. I could go on, but you guys get the idea. We are lucky to have grown up in a community where such achievements were possible. Chatham High School gave us access to an enormous selection of electives and AP courses. The Boosters Clubs and other community organizations enthusiastically supported our extracurricular endeavors, In many other school districts, students only receive a fraction of these resources and opportunities that we were offered. Yet as we look forward towards the future, we cannot help but feel that we are also unlucky. Social, political, economic, and increasingly environmental unrest is rising both at home and abroad. Many people are angry, many people are scared. It's a mess. And as globalization continues to intertwine the lives and fates of citizens all over the planet, the effects of each confrontation or natural catastrophe will only grow bigger, not smaller. Things certainly seem bleak, but while we can accept that our future is unclear, we cannot accept that it cannot be better. Psychology has shown that agency and action exist together. People who think that they can control their fates tend to do more and achieve more. People who think that they cannot tend to stagnate. Intuitively, this should also make sense. If we believe that everything we do is pointless, why would we even try to change anything? Today, we no longer have the luxury of choosing between optimism and pessimism. Today, the question of whether or not issues like terrorism or climate change even have viable solutions is almost irrelevant. Either way, we have no choice but to believe that they do. I can end the speech with the cliche of how well high school has prepared us to face these generational challenges, but that would be a bit disingenuous. Even though Chatham High School has given us the best a high school education could offer, we can't know for sure that it'll be enough. But I'll say this, to borrow some words from John F. Kennedy, in the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending it in its hour of maximum danger. We should not shrink from this responsibility. We should welcome it. Thank you.
Each year, the senior class votes for a staff member to be recognized for the Distinguished Teacher Award. This year's recipient is someone who has a passion for teaching and a love for his subject. He is someone who builds positive relationships with students year after year and is respected by his colleagues for his wit and sense of humor. This year's Distinguished Teacher plaque reads, "The Distinguished Teacher Award is presented by the graduating class of 2017 with sincere appreciation for sharing the gifts of literature, music, and a passion for learning with the students of Chatham High School." The senior class has selected Mr. Terrence Ferguson. I would like to begin the recognition of the Chatham High School 2017 Senior Scholarship recipients by presenting the Principal's Cup to our valedictorian, Yulan Zhang. And our salutatorian, Nishita Sinha. Before we continue with our scholarships, I would like to ask Paul Malatesta to stand and be recognized as he has accepted appointment to the Naval Academy this fall. We wish Paul the best of luck and thank him for his service. Mr. Walker will continue announcing our scholarships and the recipients. I ask that you hold your applause until the last scholarship is announced, when all recipients will stand to be recognized as a group.
The American Legion Post 92 Scholarship is awarded to Olivia Grace Ronpierre. Art League of the Chathams to Kelly Anderson. Brett Carlton Barth Admirable Student Award, Elizabeth Ford Wakefield. Susan B. Bronstein Memorial World Language Scholarship, Olivia Lee O'Brien. Chatham High School Athletic Boosters Most Accomplished Athlete Scholarships, Juliana Smith Hamilton, Jalen E. Hay. Chatham High School Athletic Boosters Harvey Cohen Scholarship, Alec John Napa. Chatham Borough Scholarship, Jason Quiseno Sierra. Chatham Community Players Lee E. Nordholm Scholarship, Lucas James Fertakos. Chatham Education Association Scholarship, Juliana Smith Hamilton. And Morgan Elizabeth Tobin. Chatham Emergency Squad Scholarship, Matthew Ben Pieknik. Chatham Fishawak Festival Inc. Scholarship, Elizabeth Margaret Ritchie. Chatham High School PTO Scholarships, Sam Nicholas Browning, Alexander William Brzezowski, Kirsten Rose Capabianca, Catherine Grace Evans, Matthew Ben Pieknik, Catherine Teresia Persky, and Nishita Sinha. Chatham Historical Society Margaret Keisler Scholarship, Paul Thomas Coyne. Chatham JC Scholarship, Jeffrey Rogers O'Malley and Elizabeth Wakefield. Chatham Kiwanis Scholarship, Alexander William Brzezowski, Catherine E. Mirabelli. Chatham Music and Theater Booster Scholarships, the Band Scholarship, Emily Ann Harper. The Choral Scholarship, Sharon Elizabeth Cashel. Orchestra Scholarship, Zoe Elena Hurd. Theater Scholarship, Jacob Thomas Feeney. Multiple Discipline Scholarships, Neil Patrick McCaffrey, Avery Rose Padell. Chatham Milburn Short Hills Rotary Scholarships, Kelly Noel Krinsick, Matthew Ben Pieknik. Chatham Township PBA Scholarships, Megan Elizabeth McGuire, Adam R. Orr. Chatham Township Republican Committee Charles R. Clark Scholarship, Connor Brian Slattery. Beth Kuhn Clark Scholarship, Simone Yvette Curtin, Nicole Victoria Smizaski. Democratic Scholarship Committee of the Chathams Scholarship, Natalie Felice Sharovich. Greater Lafayette Classic Service Scholarships, William Michael Macchia and Jessica Zhang. Green Village Volunteer Fire Department Scholarship, Jenna Rose Mealy. Jonathan Harper Scholarship, Caroline Frances Paulson. Vivian K. Hill, School District of the Chathams, County College of Morris Scholarships. Alec John Napa. Daniel David Reynolds. Austin O. Huey Scholarships of the Community Foundation of New Jersey. Scarlett Fallon Blydenberg. Andrea May Dean. Zoe Rose DeWitt. Investors Bank Scholarship, Chatham Branch, Eric Ryan Davis. Patricia Jones Scholarship, Ashley Caitlin Williams. Madison Lodge number 93, Free and Accepted Masons Philip T. Spruill Scholarship, Zoe Rose DeWitt. Patrolman Anthony J. Pariso Scholarship, Paul Martin Malatesta. Paul E. Harris Memorial Great Reunion Award, Olivia Ann McGow. Nicholas F. Rizzo Fine Arts Scholarship, Natalie Felice Sharovich. Ruth Family Scholarship for the Performing Arts, Catherine Grace Evans. Edward Joseph E.J. Schmeltz Scholarship, Jonathan Namovic. And Haley K. Pellegrin. Louis R. Sheets Scholarships, Jake Robert Almgren. Alexandra Key Chin. James Daniel Coyne II. And Sean William Smiley. Stephen Hoey Scholarships, Zoe Rose DeWitt, and Daniel David Reynolds. Peter W. Stoser Scholarship, James Gifford Lind. Women's Club of Chatham Scholarships, Stephanie Ann Crater, Catherine Grace Evans, Caroline Mary Herner, Catherine Teresia Perschi, and Nishita Sinha. Congratulations.
Good evening. Tonight is a special evening for Chatham High School, our seniors, and their families. Tonight we recognize our seniors as they have successfully met all requirements for graduation set forth by the School District of the Chathams and the State of New Jersey. Tonight is a time for celebrating. It's a time for reflecting on what our seniors have accomplished during their 4 years in high school, and over the next couple of months, before they're well into their next venture, it is a time to think about their future and the different paths which may be available for each of them. I'd like to share a story about two people I met back in May of 2016. Their names were Bob Wislocki and Claire Gallacher. When we met, Bob and Claire asked me many questions about Chatham High School and what high school was like for our students. I talked to them about some of the changes that have occurred during my time at Chatham. I came into the district in the fall of 2004 when our seniors just entered kindergarten. At that time, the high school had around 820 students, about 200 in the senior class. Construction had just about finished on the C Wing and the Media Center. We had no D Wing, no senior internship program, about 20 fewer staff members. Senior parking was not an issue, and the pulse was not even a thought. Change was on the way, and it continues as we speak. Bob, Claire, and I also spoke about the curriculum and the opportunities students had at CHS. I explained to them that our goal is to create a curriculum that not only meets the state's graduation requirements, but also offers courses that may be of interest to our students as they prepare for their future. It's also important that we create an environment that encourages positive relationships and mutual respect. Relationships and relatability are just as critical as reading, writing, and arithmetic. The kind of interactions that are happening in the high school are going to prepare our students for interactions and relationships that are going to be necessary to be productive in their next endeavor and in life. Additionally, making connections within the curriculum is critical because it is that relatability that demonstrates where that learning fits in the world around us, and it also answers what might be the #1 question of high school students around the country: when am I ever going to use this in real life? The reason Bob Wislocki and Claire Gallacher came to meet me that day in May was because they were members of the first 9th grade class to enter the newly constructed building in 1962, which made them the first graduating class to spend all 4 years in our high school. They were asking permission to meet at Chatham High School to kick off their 50-year reunion. This past October, the class of 1966 met in our cafeteria and toured their old high school. About 40 alumni came back to Chatham from a variety of places around the country and around the world. What was interesting to me was how they remembered where their classes were around the A-Wing, who they had as their teachers, how they hung out in the courtyard, which is now our media center, and how the Cyber Center was their stage, as the auditorium had not yet been built. The more they talked amongst themselves, the more I recognized that as much as things have changed, so much has remained constant within the walls of the high school. There were good kids in 1966 who took challenging courses, worked to do well, got along with their teachers, and found their niche through the school's many offerings. I thought this story was important to share with you tonight because as this chapter of your life closes, a new one begins. Your daily routines are going to look different, and you're going to be the one who is solely responsible for fulfilling expectations and becoming the person you want to be. This can be a bit frightening, but it's also exciting. Over the last 4 years, we encourage you to take risks and be a part of something bigger than yourselves. Taking risks forces you to try new things that may be overwhelming or intimidating, but it also breeds confidence when they're met with success, or provides a learning experience when success is not met. As Frederick Wilcox stated, progress always involves risk. You can't steal second base and still keep your foot on first. Being a part of something outside the classroom allowed you to work with others in an area of interest and gave you a broader high school experience. These experiences often continue after high school, creating a career path and lifelong friendships. Most of you will be in a different place in September. Explore the opportunities that you are offered. Try new things that may be a bit out of your comfort zone. Bob, Claire, and their classmates came back to where their foundation was built 50 years ago. Know that in 5, 10, or 50 years, although you may be scattered across the globe, you can always return to Chatham High School, where your foundation was built and your everlasting memories were made. The building may look different then, and faces may not look the same, as I will probably not be here to greet you. But know that you will always be a part of CHS. Thank you for what you've brought to Chatham High School. I wish nothing but the best for each of you. Dr. LaSousa, I present to you the class of 2017.
Thank you, Mr. Groh. Congratulations to you and your staff on graduating another terrific class of students. Congratulations to all the family members, parents, and of course the students here tonight for making it to the best night of the school year in the district. So earlier this week on Tuesday morning, I was at the high school and I was sitting in on a class of Miss Marone's and Miss Lesnowich's. And the students who were there were giving final presentations, final projects on a topic of interest that connected to the literature they had read earlier in the school year. And there were two presentations that kind of stuck with me over the course of this week. One of them was done by a girl named Emily Hibbard, I believe. Yeah. And Emily was talking about the phenomenon of shame, especially as it related to social media these days. And then another presentation that kind of stuck with me was given by a boy named Matt. And Matt, I apologize, I didn't get your last name. But Matt, among other things, talked about millennials. And you all, as you probably know, are part of the millennial generation by virtue of being born in about 1999. And Matt was citing an author who contends that millennials have an inflated sense of believing they're special and important, in part because people like me and your teachers and your parents have always told you that you're special and have praised you for everything you do. And he also noted that there was a study recently conducted that showed that millennials suffer from narcissism at a greater rate than the generations that preceded them. And Ms. Lesnowich and Ms. Marone were listening and taking notes and then asking follow-up questions. And Ms. Lesnowich made a comment where she connected the two presentations by citing the tragedy that occurred at Penn State earlier this year. And some of the students in class hadn't heard about this, so I'll just in one sentence or two sentences tell you that a kid from a high school just like this one, not far from here, right down the road, 100 and Central, graduated about a year ago and died at Penn State this year in an alcohol and fraternity-related incident. And if the police and news reports that have been made available are accurate, he didn't die simply because he drank too much. He died because the people around him did not get him help. And I was thinking about that as we were getting ready for this evening, because here we are celebrating 300 plus millennials in the center of Morris County. And I was thinking about what to say, and I wanted to let you know that I believe that you are special. And part of that is because I'm an educator, and it's in our DNA as educators to believe every child is special. But also because your parents have provided you with an extraordinary upbringing by living here. The 2000 census, about the same year you were born, ranked all the counties in the United States according to wealth. So there are 3,100 plus counties in the United States. Morris County in 2000 was, by virtue of median household income, the sixth wealthiest county. Sixth out of 3,100. Your parents' ability to afford to live here and to choose to raise you in a place like Chatham, here in Morris County, provides you with access to world-class medical treatment, to outstanding school systems like ours, to recreational activities that are diverse and can help you realize your interests and your talents, and of course a whole array of other incredible benefits. And so what I want to leave you with in your last 20 or 30 minutes here as high school students is to recognize that you're special. That doesn't mean that you're more special than anyone else. But to realize too that I think being part of this millennial generation that already has an inclination towards egoism and self-importance maybe, thanks to social media, and then growing up in an environment like this that is so rich with opportunity and so rich with the kinds of achievements that we're recognizing tonight, it's easy for you to fall into the trap of thinking that because you're special and because those around you are special, that everything will just work out and you can do it on your own. And my final request of you as CHS students is to have the courage to ask for help. At some point, you or your roommate or a friend will need help, either as a result of a mental illness or a substance abuse issue or just drinking too much one night. And I just would request that you have the courage to get help when someone needs it. And with that, I thank both Matt and Emily for giving me something to talk about tonight, because I had nothing before I visited your class. And I'll also ask you to please rise. Members of the Board of Education of the School District of the Chathams, I am happy to state that we have the authority granted to me by the New Jersey Department of Education and the Board of Education of the School District of the Chathams, I hereby certify the class of 2017. Congratulations.
Sharon Elizabeth Cashel.
Yulan Zhang.
Catherine Grace Evans.
Nishita Sinha.
Jacob Thomas Feeney.
Aaron Reginaldo Fontes.
Donald Patrick McAuliffe.
Neil Patrick McCaffrey.
Claire Sophia McGovern.
Avery Rose Padell.
Rima San Pietro.
Kimberly Ann Scaglione.
Connor Stephen Sullivan.
Liam Addison Abrams.
Timothy Blaine Adams.
Joseph David Alfano.
Connor Thor Allen.
Jake Robert Almgren.
Sharon Marie Alvarado.
Kelly Ann Anderson.
Frank Santiago Anello.
Jason Araya.
Juliana Arceniegas.
Vincent Joseph Avalon.
Philip Bahunek.
Carl Theo Belay.
William V. Benedict Jr.
Thomas John Berger.
Abigail Elizabeth Bigham.
Skylar Knowles Bigsby.
Sam Blanchard.
Nicholas Blasky.
Scarlett Fallon Blydenberg.
James Robert Bowles.
Tyler Maxwell Botsford.
Claire Curran Bowles.
Mackenzie Elizabeth Breen.
Jillian Grace Brennan.
Eric Britt.
Christopher Michael Bronzino.
Catherine Sarah Bruff.
Sam Nicholas Browning.
Alexander William Brzezowski.
Ryan Matthew Buxer.
John Joseph Burkhardt.
Lexi Ruth Calvert.
Owen Clinton Calvert.
Julia Isabella Campbell.
Kirsten Rose Capabianca.
Caroline Eleanor Caparis.
Matthew Gregory Castello.
Natalie Felice Sharovich.
Alexander Ki Chin.
Akeb Chaudhary.
Miles Evan Crucial.
Pearson Axel Churchill.
Luke D. Ciccarelli.
Lucy Eileen Clark.
Teresa Clark.
Henry David Clyde.
Philip Harold Clyde.
Danielle May Coates.
Sophie Rose Collins.
Michelle Duso Connolly.
Kathleen Ann Conroy.
Julia Conterno.
Justin Andrew Contry.
Patrick Joseph Cosgrove.
Justin Costello.
Harrison David Cody.
Chloe Greer Coxon.
James Daniel Coyne II.
Paul Thomas Coyne.
Jacqueline Marie Crater.
Stephanie Ann Crater.
Kendall Noel Cree.
James Patrick Cunningham IV.
Jennifer Rose DeViti.
Eric Ryan Davis.
Andrea May Dean.
Jack Brennan Dean.
Evan Taylor Deck.
Christopher C. Del Sandro.
Katerina Paiva de Matos.
Ariel Sasha Dazam.
Christy Jewel Dieter.
Antonia DeVito.
Matthew Devlin.
Zoe Rose DeWitt.
Isabel Sophia DeZenzo.
Padraig Brennan Donahue.
Catherine Taylor Drury.
Caroline Elizabeth Demling.
Charlotte Rose Etheridge.
Grace Reeder Evans.
Hannah Bell Farid.
Emma Helene Farinacci.
Catherine Juliet Farricker.
Ashley Marie Hardy Filippello.
Brian Ferreira.
Stephen Flores.
Daniel Jacob Flynn.
Patrick Francis Foca.
Elizabeth Rose Ford.
Caroline Patricia Fourier.
Christopher Ronald Francesco.
Holly Sylvia Fulman.
Jessica Amber Garefa.
Christopher Douglas Gates.
Evan Michael Gavalakis.
Stephanie Bliss Gilsonen.
Nicole Hope Goldschmidt.
Alec Christopher Gonzalez.
Emily Nicole Gorham.
Samuel William Grady.
Michael James Graham.
Christopher Grant.
Allison Emma Green.
Natasha Grieve.
Jack Matthew Griner.
Damian Gunadasa.
Felicia Bayun Guo.
Edward T. Guy IV.
Kelly Ann Jives.
Elizabeth Hahn.
Jeffrey Mark Haley.
Casey Jordan Hamilton.
Juliana Smith Hamilton.
Connie Hahn.
Emily Ann Harper.
Margaret Grace Harrigan.
Margaret Ryan Harris.
Elizabeth Harrison.
Jalen Emmanuel Hay.
Zoe Elena Hurd.
Nicole Zoe Heller.
Bruce C. Hellman III.
James Edward Herendine.
Maximilian D. Hessel.
Emily Sophia Hibbard.
Laurel Ann Hickey.
Jane Marie Hilsenrath.
Caroline Mary Herner.
Amelia Maria Hoffman.
Bridget Helen Horan.
William Henry Hosbein.
Jocelyn Elizabeth Hughes.
Hannah Elizabeth Husek.
Nicholas John Youth.
Catherine Highland.
Karen Claire Hines.
Alicia Izuka.
Karen Izuka.
Sarah Elizabeth Irish.
Paul Jack Ivans.
Peter Anthony Joel Jr.
Oliver William Jones.
Marguerite Sophie Kay.
Griffin Edward Keenan.
Virginia Elizabeth Keenan.
Bonnie Rose Kennedy.
Elisa Kahn.
John Kimber.
Simone Yvette Curtin.
Gabriel Miller Colker.
Kyle William Kaloji.
Jessica Kraus.
Zoe Madison Kraus.
Connor William Kressler.
Kelly Noel Krinchak.
Kate Elizabeth Kurlansky.
Brian Thomas LaCourte.
Gina Eileen Lamantia.
James Richard Lamar Jr.
Shannon Lamb.
Melissa Lauren Landry.
Emily Elizabeth Langen.
Grace Alexandra Larson.
Graham Thomas Lamont.
Alexander Max Leininger.
James Gifford Lind.
Ronan Patrick Limroth.
Judy Lim.
Thomas Carter LaFaro.
Christina Maria Lopez.
Luis Martin Lopez.
Sophia Lopiano.
Samantha Josephine Lucas.
Jessie Juliana Lurs.
Alexandra Lynch.
William Michael Macchia.
Vincent John Pershing Maddie.
John Patrick McGuire.
Megan Elizabeth McGuire.
Paul Martin Malatesta.
Samuel K. Maltby.
Gia Christina Mariano.
Marissa Rosemary Marino.
Joseph A. Murata.
Amelia Rose Marshall.
Isabella Marshall.
Nicholas Frank Martinez.
Anna Elise Claire Mason.
Laura Francis McCormick.
Sean Patrick McCarty.
Olivia Ann McGow.
Tyler James McCory.
Caitlin Ann McKenzie.
Emily Ann McGovern.
Peter Jerome McNiff.
Catherine Kelly McNiff.
Gianmarco Costello Mignoni.
Jenna Rose Mealy.
Catherine Elizabeth Mirabelli.
Elizabeth Paige McCullovich. Yeah. Oliver Monahan.
Abigail Elizabeth Morgan.
Edison Chin Moy.
John Patrick Murray.
Jonathan Nemovic.
Alec John Napa.
Felipe Narvaez.
Rebecca Catherine Nickerson.
Jack Nonamaker.
Michael Winthrop Norse.
Olivia Lee O'Brien.
Sean Patrick O'Donnell.
Caroline Faulkner O'Gorman.
Jeffrey Rogers O'Malley, Jr.
John Michael O'Neill III.
Adam R. Orr.
Isabel Lydia O'Melchick.
Samuel John Ortolani.
Nicholas Paradise.
Jeet Parake.
Connor Francis Pashenko.
James Shakes Pascalides.
Christopher Matthew Pestena.
Caroline Francis Paulson.
Hallie K. Pellegrin.
Morgan Noel Pellegrin.
Sky Ashley Texas V. Phillipson.
Stephen Joseph Picari.
Matthew Ben Pieknik.
Alexa K. Pisciati.
Thomas Eugene Plant.
Menyon Plusinek.
Jan Tomasz Pokrivka.
Amanda Catherine Politano.
Matthew Alexander Polverino.
Jessica Pompeo.
William H. Prindeville.
Jillian Rose Puglisi.
Catherine Teresia Pershke.
William Allen Pael.
Jason Cuseno Sierra.
Grace Ann Rabe.
Matthew Warren Rayola.
Vivian Naomi Ramos.
Megan Elizabeth Redmond.
Daniel David Reynolds.
Logan Breed Richardson.
William Thomas Riker.
Elizabeth Margaret Ritchie.
Sean W. Roche.
Olivia Grace Rondpierre.
Liam Harrison Rooney.
Zachary Thomas Ryan.
Michael Charles Salvo.
Madison Elizabeth Scanoni.
Madeline Cook Schroeder.
Alexander Charles Schwartz.
Christian J. I. Scott.
Kismet Sekond.
Raghav Seth.
Bennett Kerwin Shepard.
Perry Shepard.
Gregory Philip Lang Slam.
Connor Brian Slattery.
Sean William Smiley.
Nicole Victoria Smizowski.
Austin Robert Springer.
Christopher Merritt Stallbird.
Matthew J. Stasikavichus.
Brendan Niles Steigerwald.
Lisa Sumiko Stewart.
Lindsay Meredith Stinson.
Sarah Grace Stubeck.
Bradford Stiple.
Callie Ann Sullivan.
Nicholas David Sergalese.
Megan Ann Swift.
Marina Takagi.
Aubrey Christine Tedford.
Chloe Page Tempest.
Carter Paul Tobin.
Morgan Elizabeth Tobin.
Jillian Marie Tarenti.
Lucy Ufheil.
Nicole Marie Anastasia Eula.
Adam Undis.
Sean Patrick Valenti.
Andrew Thurman Van Wickler.
Bridget Marie Vargas.
Justin Yi Veracuti.
Caroline Grace Vina.
Adam Henry Lawrence Verrill.
Catherine Grace Visco.
Nurali Vyas.
Elizabeth Ford Wakefield.
Addison Christina Walker.
Elizabeth Anna Walker.
William T. Walrand, Jr.
Colin Gerard Walsh.
Audrey Lee Washuta.
Tara Lee Weichert.
Ashley Caitlin Williams.
John Connor Winans.
Ashley Suzanne Wood.
Matthew Michael Yakel.
Jessica Zhang.
Madeline Sue Zinser.
Well done, graduates. Excellent. Quickly, by way of introduction, my name is Jill Weber, and I'm the president of the Board of Education. Now, you've heard from the big cheese, Dr. LaSousa. You heard from Mr. Groh, who's been with you, boots on the ground, for the last 4 years. Graduates, you didn't actually think you were going to get out the door without hearing from a parent, right? I knew you knew better. So first of all, I just wanted to congratulate you and remind you about how hard you've worked over the last 13 years. You've proven it in all of your academics and your extracurricular activities, and Yulon mentioned a lot of your achievements. And on the board and the administration, we see it in statistical reports, and you've just knocked it out of the park. And I don't say this to you to brag on your behalf. I'm actually saying this to you so that you take advantage of it when you get on to the next chapter of your life. So whether you're going directly into the workforce or have decided to join the military, or a few of you have decided to go off to college, what I want to remind you is, or make you aware of rather, you will find that you are several years ahead of your peers. And again, I'm not saying that to brag, that's just a simple fact. And I want you to take advantage of that. So don't be thinking, gosh, it's going to get harder next week, next month, next semester. Take advantage of it right away. Join clubs and organizations that you have an interest in. Things that you have a real passion for, take on leadership roles. So again, and I'm not talking to the top of the class by any means. I'm talking to the entire class. You have spent the last 13 years with each other, and you just don't realize that even if you're in the middle of the pack, you're in the middle of the pack on an all-star team. So please remember to take full advantage of that when you get off to the next chapter of your life. So one final note that I wanted to mention. As you start onto your next chapter, you're going to find yourself confronted with some new social situations. And as Dr. LaSousa had mentioned, you're going to find yourself at a crossroads. Now, you have the skills and you have the intellect to make the right decision, no doubt. You have proven time and time again that you have the strength of character to make the right decisions. What I just want to remind you of is when you find yourself at these crossroads, just remember tonight, remember the feeling that you have right now. I want you to remember to have the confidence in yourselves to make the right decision. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Don't worry about what those around you are doing. I want you to remember your motto. We are Chatham. That's right. Don't worry about what those around you are doing. Let you lead and let them get in line behind you. So, enough said. So if the class of 2017 would please stand. If you would move your tassels from right to left. May I present the class of 2017. Congratulations.